fantastic game of basketball ruined by a blasphemous, and I mean blasphemous referee's call. I'm pissed. Let's talk about it and more here on the Indian Celtic Show. Let's talk Celtics basketball. Hello and welcome along to another episode of the Indian Celtic Show, the only podcast you need for your coverage of your Boston Celtics. You can find this podcast on Spotify and on YouTube. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, give this video a like, and hop into the comment section. And let me know if I'm talking sense. Let me know if I'm talking nonsense. Let's engage in discussion and let's talk Celtic basketball. So, the Boston Celtics, losers today against the Indiana Pacers, 131-133. A fantastic game to say the least. Both teams were balling. It was a great game. Two teams without their superstar for almost all the game, as Jason Tatum, left ankle sprain management, was not a part of this game. And Tyrese Haliburton got injured. Let's hope he's not so serious because it looked bad. He had a full split. We'll talk about it. Later. Sam Howsett also didn't play. The sharpshooter for the Boston Celtics, shoulder impingement, was not part of the game. So both teams almost short-handed for the entire game, but they balled out and produced a great game, which was ruined by a blasphemous referee's call, which we'll cover later on the show. But let's start from the beginning. Let's see how the game started. The game started with Boston Celtics playing beautiful basketball. The ball was moving. It was so easy on the eyes, and it looked beautiful. Jaylen Brown was balling. Jaylen Brown balled out. 40 points in this game. Incredible to say the least. The defense was engaged, but the Indiana Pacers were making tough shots, and the quarter was tight. Celtics ended the first quarter leading 34-33. The rotations were, after the first substitution were Kristaps Porzingis and Jaylen Brown stayed on the floor. The other three starters left. Brissett, Payton, and Banton joined. The Brown-Zingis duo was good basketball. Banton played 4 minutes. They came in the game 6 minutes left in the first quarter. Banton played 4 minutes. Then Holiday came back in. And the second quarter started with Jrue Holiday, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Luke Cornett, and Al Horford. The three guard-heavy lineups. The guards were pushing, handling the ball. Peyton Pritchard was hot in the beginning. The game was very physical. And it was nice. It was close before Tyrese Haliburton got hurt. In the late second quarter, the Celtics were making their run. They were up 4 or 5 points when he hurt his hamstring. He slipped on the floor, almost did a full split, and it looked bad. Let's hope he's all right. We never want to see any player get injured. Tyrese Haliburton, one of my favorite players, in my eyes, has an all-time great potential. He controls the offense like no one else. And after he got hurt, the Celtics continued their run. They finished the quarter. They finished the half, leading 68-59. Went into the locker room with a 9-point lead. My bad. And then, a simple case of sports psychology. The Boston Celtics playing good basketball, getting whatever they want, scoring almost 70 in the first half. The Indiana Pacers just lost their superstar, Tyrese Haliburton. So what do you know? The Celtics relax a little. And what happens when you relax against the Indiana Pacers? The all-time great offense. The highest offensive rating of all time. What happens if you relax against them? They get on your ass. Let me be real. And they got on Celtics' ass. They were running like dogs. My God. Joe Mazzulla always talks about that the other teams will always make runs, and it's up to us to handle those runs and not let it get on us, to continue playing our basketball. But one thing I would say on this is there's one thing if the other team makes a run because they're good, but there's another thing the other team makes a run when we let them make a run, when we relax, when we take tough shots, when we make stupid mistakes on defense. That's what happened in the third quarter, and the Indiana Pacers got going. Without Tyrese Haliburton, they got going. And what do you know? Only Jrue Holiday was the one that was balling to start the third quarter. The lead was cut to 3. Joe Mazzulla called timeout. Nothing cooking. For all those who say Joe Mazzulla never calls timeout, that doesn't mean a thing. Timeouts don't always result in positive things. And what do you know? O'Shea Brissett continued to show great energy. And what do you know? We were trailing 101 to 103 after the quarter number 3. And quarter number 4. We had a look on Svi Mikhailuk. He had great energy. Missed 50% of his free throws, 2 out of 4 from the line, but it's alright. Gave good minutes. But the Pacers boys were not afraid. They were coming right at the Boston Celtics. They were feeling confident. We were down 105 to 111 with 9 minutes left. Derek White, who did not have a good game, finally started to make a couple of shots. But that was it. He didn't do much at all in this game. We'll talk about it when we cover the individual performances. And Jaylen Brown came into the game with 7 minutes left. 1-1-0, 1-1-3. 1-1-0, 1-1-5. Al Horford came into the game. So 1-1-0, 1-1-5 with 6 minutes 45 seconds left. All the starters were on the floor. The Celtics were ready to close it out. To close this game that they made it tough in the third quarter. One could say we lost because of the third quarter and not because of the blasphemous referee's call. I'd say we lost because of the blasphemous referee's call, but third quarter was our mistake as well. Well, let's start. Let's talk about it. Alright. Let's talk clutch. The game tied 124-124 after Al Horford 3 with 3 minutes 20 seconds left. And with 3 minutes left, Derek White, incredible block. But what do you know? Ben Mathurin and Buddy Hield were cooking. It led to a 3-point shot from Buddy Hield, I think, and the Pacers lead 127 to 124. Aaron Nesmith draws a foul, makes a bucket, misses the free throw. 129-124 Indiana Pacers with 2 minutes 23 seconds left. Then Jaylen Brown started cooking. 2 consecutive buckets, which gave him his 40 points. The Celtics are 128-129, 1 point behind with 1 minute 16 left. And what do you know? Indiana Pacers turn the ball over. Kristaps Porzingis hits the 3. 1 minute left, Celtics up 2. TJ McConnell cooked Jrue Holiday. 131 all, 44 seconds left. And then 35 seconds left, the Celtics call timeout. Celtics ball. We come up, trying to go for a 2-for-1. We get 2 possessions and the Pacers get 1. But Jaylen Brown misses his pull-up. Pacers go the other way. TJ McConnell misses his pull-up. Then the Celtics decide not to call timeout. Jaylen Brown goes to his spot, pulls up, gets smacked on the head. Gets smacked right here on his head. The referee calls a foul. And the Pacers had a challenge left. So Rick Carlisle, their head coach, decided to use his challenge, which everybody knew was not going to be overturned. But what do you know? The call was overturned. A blasphemous call of the challenge because Jaylen Brown was clearly hit in the back of his head. So the call overturned. It's back to the Pacers with 3 seconds left. And what do you know? Kristaps Porzingis decides to foul Ben Mathurin on his 3-point shot. And then he goes to the line. Makes the first 2, misses on purpose the third one, so time goes off the clock. And the Celtics only have 0.3 seconds left. Down 2, they decide to call timeout. They decide to get a loop, an alley towards the rim. Luke Cornett tips it, misses by an inch. And that was that. That was the game summary. Only thing I blame the Boston Celtics today for: a lackluster third quarter. And that's about it. They did enough to win the game, other than the third quarter, and other than the horrendous, the blasphemous, outrageous referee's call. That's that. That was the game summary. All we can do is wait for the last 2-minute report, which will say the referees made a mistake. And what will that give us? Nothing. We take the L. We go 27-8 on the season. Fall to first place. From first place. Still first place in the NBA. But hey, I would have loved to get this win without Jason Tatum especially, who balled out in the last 2 games. I could not cover the last 2 games. I caught a cold because I was in my holidays in Kasol, in JB, in Himachal Pradesh. You know how we do. Let's talk some individual performances. Jaylen Brown balled out. So impressive, as I said, playing the best basketball of his career, making great rim reads again. His shot was right there. He had 40. Jrue Holiday had a great game, great defensively, great offensively, 21 points. Porzingis was alright. He was missing shots in the first quarter. Ended up with 19 points. Peyton Pritchard was balling, had 14. Derek White, not so much. Missed a lot of shots today. We're pulling up like crazy. Like he's almost pulling up like he's Stephen Curry. And he had 13 points. He was 4 of 16 from the floor and 2 of 8 from 3-point line. Not a great game from Derek White, but we did enough, I feel. We could have still won. The Pacers were cooking. When Haliburton got down, they still had performances. Mathurin was 5 from 3 in the first quarter. Finished with 26, still cooking till the end. Buddy Hield helped them out in the end as well. 15 points. Neesmith 17, Turner 16. They did good. That's that for the individual performances. I got nothing left to say. The Boston Celtics lose the second game of a 2-game regular season series with the Pacers. Without Jason Tatum, we can go ahead and take this L, which we should have won had it not been for that blasphemous call. But we move on. We go on at the TD Garden to face the number 1 seed in the West next. Jason Tatum will be ready. The Boston Celtics will be ready as we take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's the first game on a back-to-back. The second game on the back-to-back will be at Milwaukee. Tough schedule. Both games back-to-back, and I will be covering both games. So you know where to hop on. That's the Boston Celtics coverage. We together will talk Celtics basketball. Let's go Celtics. Let's get it. Let's get these 2 wins. Come on.